How does upselling and cross-selling happen in such a market?
Right. So one way I think of upselling, cross-selling is, it's not just about what else you can position with that product. It's more about completing the problem for the customer. So, for example, if you're selling a dress, then there's got to be a bag that goes really well with that dress. So that's like one way to think about it. So
Whoa,
you're,
wow, didn't
yeah.
even hit my mind.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
we are used to, like, for our agency, we are used to think of it like in a very different way. So we are like, okay, now you have acquired people, now you need to retarget them, now you need to send them email campaigns. But this is just very, very simple. You got this dress, but this bag would go really well with the dress. Now all you need to do is find someone on Instagram who has the same dress and the bag together, get the UGC content done, put it on their face. Really, this is just how the industry works. You put it on their face in an email campaign, and it's pretty straightforward. Like, you have all of these options on Klaviyo where you can segment by the products they bought, right? So if they bought anything from a specific collection, then I can match it to another collection and say, hey, this collection of bags which goes well with this collection of dresses, and then there's a makeup kit that you can slap on top of it which goes really well with that dress and that bag. So you can create all of these permutations and combinations, and then test all of those out. And those are the A/B tests that we do. And then we figure out, okay,
Hmm.
the company feels, the designer feels that this bag and this dress goes well together, but users feel that this bag and this dress go well together. So
Yeah.
we use a plugin called Conversific on Shopify, which tells us what two products are bought together most frequently. And then using that,
Hmm.
we can plug that into the Klaviyo flows of people who have purchased A will be shown B, and so forth. And then the same thing can be used in the frequently bought together section on Shopify and other things. So mostly,
Those are the CRO stuff that you do
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that falls into the AOV category, because sometimes what happens is, for the conversion, it's sometimes better not, like, we've done this experiment. Like, this is really crazy. We removed the frequently bought together section and the conversion rate went up. And
Oh,
and then
okay.
we were like, okay, because women get confused when they see more options, right?
Okay.
So they're like, okay, I already had this in my bag, but now they're like, can I also get this? And now it's
Okay.
something else came on their Instagram news feed and they forgot about that, right? So they're distracted, they are confused. I mean, this is in general for humans.
That's
You
interesting.
have to go deeper within that short width of time. So
Hmm.
they have a few seconds, they're scrolling on their Instagram feed, they come across an ad, they click on the ad. Now you got to make that first purchase. So on the first purchase, we never show the frequently bought together. We only show it for returning users, because returning
Okay.
users now trust you. They have a little bit more time to scroll through your website. They're probably coming as direct traffic, not as referral traffic in this case. So they have a
Hmm.
little bit more, so we segment out the direct traffic and never show them the performance, the frequently bought together.
Oh, okay. Got it. That's interesting.
And there are, like, these the small things in this industry become really big, like return rates. It's not a big deal when you're dealing with an information product or something like that, but with fashion or with skincare or hair care, return rates become like a big issue for the business. So returning
Hmm.
customers will always have lesser return rates than first orders, because they know the sizes, they know how it fits, they know how it looks. So that's like,
Hmm.
those are things that matter. So even if you boost the conversion rate and then alongside boost the return rates, you are at the same level. So you don't want to do
Yeah.
that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, how do you make sure that they return?
So the big four are email, SMS, push notifications, and Facebook Messenger. At least in the US Canada
Facebook
market.
Messenger. Okay.
Facebook
Oh, wow. I
Messenger.
didn't.
So what we
Never.
do is we use Facebook Messenger retargeting. There's an app which sort of links your Facebook ads, people who have then liked your page, etc., and people who've ordered from you, finds them on Facebook, and then sends them a sequence to run campaigns or transactional messages, whatever you would like to
Oh,
do.
wow.
Of course, we can add WhatsApp in different markets, but for US Canada, mostly it's not the best performing channel
Hmm.
when it comes to
Okay.
retargeting. I know it is for India and other countries, but for US Canada, it's these are the big four. Push notifications have started working really well, because then they can get it on their phones once they subscribe. Once they say yes to your push notifications, let's say Labor Day is coming soon, you can then send them a notification that, hey, Labor Day sale, blah blah blah. It comes on their phones, whether or not they have the app. So that's like an
Hmm.
advantage of push notifications as well. Amongst those four, we target to get 40% additional revenue for our clients. So if we are getting 30% from email, then SMS, push notifications, recart can all, like Facebook Messenger, can all work together to get another 10 to 15%. and that becomes like a 40-45% revenue coming back to the client, which is amazing, right, in terms of returning
Hmm.
customers.
Got it, man. So this is the client side of things happening, right? So when you're working with a client,
Yeah.
these are some of the improvements that you do, and my brain is just firing up with all the things that you can do. Like add like a frequently bought together, push notification,
Yeah.
SMS, emails.
The level at which Amazon is experimenting, we always have to compete with those sort of levels of experimentation. So we're always thinking of, simple things like adding a size chart to reduce returning rates. Check if that actually, I mean, reduce return rates from orders. Check if that makes sense, and then you can only test like one or two things at a time. So that's another challenge, because you have all of these stages of the funnel where your landing page is the product page in case of D2C. Then you have the cart page. So you can do some experiments on the cart page, like a timer expiry. There are a few things, best practices that work. Then you can do some experiments on the checkout page. Then you have payment methods. Adding an extra payment method can improve that particular ratio by 10-20%. Then you're testing with
Hmm.
afterpay and things like paying in installments and all that. And then you finally have like the final, payment is done, thank you page, within which you can actually get the second order right there. If you're able to run an experiment and be like,
Like a one click upsell sort of thing.
correct, correct,
Thing.
correct. So now there are like the 5 different stages of the funnel, which are all in 30 seconds in one time that the user have to go through. So
So crazy to think about.
yeah, the game is so much more different than, like we both are building like coaching and agency funnels and all that. So at least the person has time to absorb what you're doing, right? In this case, you are showing probably like 100 small hacks to the person in 30 seconds. You don't know what's going to work, and then you can collect data and then measure and improve on that. So it's just a crazy game. Yeah.
Have you ever tried something like ClickFunnels used to promote this physical product thing, right? Have you tested that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, that works well for skincare. It works really well for skincare actually, and for hair care. It doesn't work that much for fashion, etc. And I know that there's another app called Pagefly on Shopify which lets you do this. So we tested that, and for skincare, the conversion rates really blew up. And this was based on a case study by Firestone, this guy who does ecom
E-
content creation. Yeah.
Ezra Firestone, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So we tried to replicate that for a skincare client. He used to do it for a skincare client as well. So that worked really well. But yeah, for
Hmm.
fashion, it completely failed. I just think that if you have a big catalog, then people want to see the collections page. They just want to scroll and have as many options as possible before they can choose. Like there are bestsellers that you don't want to sell, right? Like there are bestsellers which maybe you're running out of fabric at the factory level. Something is happening, but this is like the bestseller. This is the best conversion rates. You want to sell something
Yeah.
else, you want to mix the best sellers with some new arrivals with a few other products. So yeah, like it has to be a good experience. That's why these shopping stores, even offline, are so messed up. It's hard to find like sections for everything. Except for
Hmm.
Decathlon, I've not seen it anywhere because Decathlon everything is the same price. but but there are these stores which will have a 5,000 rupee ka dress and a 1,000 rupee ka dress and a 10,000 rupee ka dress, and they'll be in the same section. And these are
Yeah.
the reasons why, right? So that
Hmm.
combination is really important. Same thing happens on your collection pages on Shopify. And that's why like
Yeah.
one hack really is to hide that filter and sort that Shopify has, where you can literally sort by best selling. Just hide it. Ask your developer to hide it, and then
Oh,
manually choose how you want to show the products to the user.
dude, this is next level stuff. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially just pay in installments was a game changer for ecom brands. And just by if you were to get a new client and say, I'll do CRO for you, if you want to just show them returns very quickly, just add a pay in installments, whether it's Afterpay or Klarna or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
They will think you're a magician, but basically people just want to pay less upfront. That's all. So
That's all. Yeah.